Good morning to all of us. Welcome to Almusal Tayo with Neb. And for today's session, we all know that God is in the midst of us because we're going to talk about His Word. And we will be focusing on Matthew 10:34-36 for today. Let me read you this passage. Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and man enemies will be the member of his own household. What does it mean? Meaning, Jesus say the word sword in this. He doesn't mean the sword that he come to the earth is for us to have fight, for us to have misunderstanding, for us to have a war. But the sword actually symbolizes division. Division means we people are divided by not everyone follows Jesus, but some of the people also rejects Jesus. It is not easy for all of us to follow Jesus with loyalty, truthfulness, and honesty. And when it does, this can cause tensions in our household, where not everybody understands, where not everyone believes on it, and this is where the division starts. Let me give you an example. Division in a relationship for a married couple, a husband and wife. A husband will have an expectations for the wife because he has his own perception. And the wife will have her own perception and her own expectations to the husband as well. So both they have expectations. Husband wants her wife to be submissive, and sometimes that becomes so selfish. And when these expectations are not met, where do you think it would end? It would end to a quarrel, to an argument that could even lead to a separation. If it always happens, it becomes more tension that could lead to a separation due to a lot of misunderstanding. Now, in Ephesians 5:21, it says, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Now, what does it say? Submit to one another. But our expectations are not meeting, so we are not submitting. Right? So, what does it mean? What does it tell us? It's telling us that to avoid division, we should have mutual submission. If it is not met, and argument, quarrel, misunderstanding, separation would happen. I'll give you another example about siblings. What do you think about siblings nowadays? Are they close to one another? Maybe one or two is close and the other three or four has a different expectations, right? Siblings is very common nowadays that we can see that these siblings are not really that close. They come from one blood, they have shared the same blood, but they have different expectation, they have different needs, they have wants, they have jealousy, they have everything that would create conflict within their lives. They don't like one another. Not all, but most. Now, if we look at that, siblings also have their own perceptions, their own expectations about their siblings, And so as other siblings have their expectations on you. And if this is not met, what would happen? These expectations are not met, it could lead to many troubles. It could lead to a lot of misunderstanding. It could lead conflicts. It could lead jealousy. And this kind of things happens in siblings. Definitely, there is a separation, there is a division within your family. If we are going to look back on Genesis 4 to 38, the story of Cain and Abel, and this is the first murder happens in the Bible. What happened? Because of jealousy. He killed the brother. And this could happen in us. It's not about killing, literally, but we are killing the unity of siblings in your family. And it has a big separation and it's a division. Another example about parenting, about a relationship between our parents and our children. We all know I'm a parent too. And we all know that we only wanted to have the best for our children, the best in life, the best in future. But what happens when we think about the best for our children? What actions do? We are putting ourselves on top of our children, controlling every single move, every single desires that our children wants. We are actually overpowering them. Instead of overpowering them, what should we do? What happens if we overpower our children with our own rules, set of rules? This must be followed. It leads to dissatisfaction. It leads to unhappiness of our children. It leads to a division where sometimes the child doesn't want to be with you. Sometimes the child has a doubt to be with you. Sometimes the child fear. They have fear on you. And fear is not love. That's the opposite of feelings that a love could give a parent's heart. So if there was a fear, if there was a rule and there was a fear, what does it mean to you? Are you happy yourself? No. If we look at Proverbs 22:6, it says, train up a child in the way he should go. If we're going to notice the word, he should go, we trained up the child on the way he should go. It tells us very clearly. It's not telling us in the way we want him to grow. So that's very clear. And division is not only happening about household, literally, meaning family. No. It happens everywhere. It happens on faith, religion, churches. It happens in businesses. It happens in schools. It happens everywhere. Whenever we meet people, whenever we meet people out in the street, how we treat them, how we choose to communicate with them, division happens from that. And these are all our household, not literally just your family. But the example that was given was focused on a relationship with our family. Until then, if you choose to change your action, if you choose to put yourself and choose humility, just to change the perception, then we can avoid division. I hope the message of the Lord has helped us for today's session, and we can apply this in our daily life. That would make the opportunity so that division could be prevented. And this is all for now. Until I see you tomorrow, almusal tayo with Neb. To God be the glory. God bless to all of us.